What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we've talked about Middle Eastern this week. We've talked about designers, but what about niche? Well, we did 15 for each of those, and I just could not exclude certain fragrances for this. So we've got 20. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer video. So strap in, get ready. We're going to talk about some absolute grand slam, bang, clear as day home run fragrances that you can get in a multitude of different price ranges that are some quality stuff, some unique smells, and just some overall great stuff. I can't wait to dive into these. Stay tuned. Starting with a pretty pricey one, Amougae is a very, very phenomenal house. I love their work. And one that you may not have tried is Lineage. So Lineage offers this oriental smoked spiced fragrance that is their core DNA. But here, now when you look at the notes, it may not compute with what I'm about to describe to you, but it does have this salty aquatic tone to this fragrance. Very much falls in line with a salty sea breeze type of fragrance, loaded with resins, incense, woods, and spices. It's almost like that beach aquatic that we needed from Amougae. The note breakdown does not dictate that's what you're getting. It is crazy strong as well. This is not for a super high heat, humidity, scorching day, even though I mentioned aquatic, because it's a very hefty, dense fragrance overall. I mean, it's Amougae. It's some potent stuff. Perfectly unisex. It is in the feminine bottle, but these days, that doesn't dictate anything, especially with Amougae. They have a lot of releases in this bottle that actually lean more masculine than feminine these days. So absolutely worth trying. Get your nose on this one. It is a very special experience. I literally keep it in the front of my collection. It goes right there because it's that good. It's Amougae Lineage. Tropical fruits. Sweet and powdery, clean and musky, soft and woodsy, Kajal Parfums Aican. This is such a pure joy to smell. Yes, I still think Lamar is the most special fragrance from the house, but as far as the most joyfully fun to wear, just knock your socks off. Holy crap, you smell good. Aican. This is the one. It's in that realm of your Lamar portholes, your God of Fires, just that, exotic fruit, tropical type of fragrance, pineapple, passion fruit kind of thing. I believe there's some orange in here or something along those lines. And it's powdery sweet. It's amazing. It really is. It's some of their best work. It's not over the top complicated. It doesn't smell super original, but it does smell like something popular with its own twist. Hence that powdery nuance that the ones I listed don't really have. This is so freaking good, and I strongly encourage you to get your nose on this one. And of course, it's a phenomenal performer with fantastic quality and their beautiful original bottle presentation style. It's Kajal Aican. One of the best fragrances I've smelled this year, hands down. From Nishane, we have Safran Colognise. This is warm weather leather. The saffron here warms up the citrus so freaking much. It's juicy, bright, and fresh, yet warm. And you have this not quite robust, not quite soft. Kind of falls somewhere in between for this suede accord. That's why I like to call it warm weather leather. Because this is one of those few times where this is a leather dominant fragrance, suede specifically, that is absolutely built to succeed in the summertime. This is, I think, my favorite Nishane fragrance at this point. I have around a dozen bottles from them at this point. I have all three of the fragrances in this line, and I think this one has captivated me to the point to where I can give it the title as the best Nishane fragrance in my collection. That's why it was the clear-cut choice to feature, because I love the brand. Something from the brand was going to be in this video, and you owe it to yourself to try this. If you want a unique citrus experience, you should try Safran Colognise from Nishane. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you an absolute cheat code for date night. I literally had my 14-year wedding anniversary, what's today, Friday, 3 days ago on Tuesday. I put this as part of the 5 we were choosing from. I put it to a poll in my live stream. My wife's actual response and reaction when I had her smell the 5 was, holy fuck, that's amazing. That is a quote. Mind Games, French Defense, the greatest cherry fragrance on the market. I'll argue with anybody and everybody. And yeah, it's a taste thing, but it's my kind of taste. This stuff is amazing. I sprayed way more. I had like 8 sprays on, way more than I needed. I even sprayed 2 sprays on my bare chest under my button up, and I don't go nose blind to it, so I was living in this sillage. This is a syrupy, boozy cherry, a little spiced and woodsy. It's rich, it's warm. It is absolutely magnificent. It's that dark black cherry type, no sourness to this one. Yeah, it's expensive. And I'm going to warn you, if you get a sample, be prepared for the possibility, the real possibility that you can be like, damn it, I did not want to drop this kind of money on a fragrance, but I have got to add this to my collection. That's a real possibility with fragrances like this and Mentor, one of the newest ones. That's probably the fragrance I would say that rivals this from the brand that I could have easily featured right here, but I just had to tell you guys, you need to experience this. Even if you're not a fan of cherry, give it a shot. It's Mind Games French Defense. Now this reminds me of a nectar cream snowball with mango. Sounds weird, doesn't it? And a little bit of a sweet oud. It is from Gritti. This is Mango Oud. This is fantastic. Oh my God, is this so good? And it's got that tropical summery feel to it. And as long as you're not spraying it real heavy, I think it'll work in the humidity. I wore it this summer. That's when I got it. This is so good. I love mango. Mango is my favorite fruity note in perfume. I like it more than everybody loves pineapple, and I love pineapple too. And passion fruit's really good. Lychee comes across really just beautifully sweet. I like all that stuff too, but give me mango and I'm good to go. And here you get a sweeter oud. It's not really all that funky. It's got this kind of cooled ice accord, this fresh, bright, almost minty cooling like tone to it that I don't know. I just equate it to a creamy snowball, like a nectar cream type of snowball. Fun fact. Smells like, if you've ever had a nectar cream snowball, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. That was my dad's favorite snowball, hence why I know what those are. The only reason I've ever tried it, because that was his thing. This is absolutely sample worthy. It's pricey, not as pricey as the French Defense fragrance we just talked about, but this is a very unique tropical fragrance, a very unique oud forward fragrance that I think is one that's special, and you should really try this, especially if you like mango. Then it's like a must try for you. It's Gritti, Mango Oud. Speaking of oud, this is top 5 in my collection. I love this fragrance. I mean, I love this fragrance. Vertus Vanilla Oud, the ever so popular fragrance on this channel. So, saffron spiced, burnt, smoky type of vanilla, slight funkiness to the oud, creamy vanilla. It's a little powdery, it's very warm. Oh, nice and spiced. The saffron really shines here. A little leathery. There's a lot of nuance to this one. This is brilliant. Brilliant. Not everybody likes it, but a lot of people do. I mean, I do have some friends in the community. Josh and Jason, I'm looking at you two Vanilla Oud haters. But aside from that, for the most part, people seem to love this fragrance. Definitely try before you buy, as with every single fragrance in this video if you can, because a lot of them are quite expensive. A few are affordable, but even then, you never know. It's always best to sample when available, but man, the first time I smelled this was on my friend Justin, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that. And it's since become one of my absolute favorites, where if I was just keeping 5 fragrances out of my whole collection, this is one of the 5. I like it that much. And if you want a gorgeous vanilla fragrance with a very approachable type of oud accord, it's not super crazy funky. It's got a little bit of funk, just the right amount to make it wearable and add some allure to the fragrance, honestly. You might want to check out Vertus Vanilla Oud. Okay, we're talking oud in the name in these fragrances even. Let's talk about something highly versatile. How about one of the only 2 fragrances I've ever given a full 10 out of 10 in a review? Because I hold 10 out of 10 dear, and a 10 out of 10 for me, it might only be a 10 out of 10 for me, because for me to give a 10, it's literally a perfect fragrance for me, my taste, and my lifestyle. And that is what Roja Parfums Isola Blue absolutely is. This is the perfect fragrance for me. If I was keeping one fragrance, this is one of the 2 fragrances I would say is the contender for me to keep just one fragrance. I feel I can wear this for everything. It's fruity, tropical, green, very citric, musky. There's a hint of coconut. There's a light tropical feel, just a little bit. A lot of woods. I mean, it's a Raja Dove creation. There's loads of notes and nuance here. Really good performance without being obnoxious. Just stunning. It's brilliant. This is a brilliant creation. I love it. And it doesn't hurt that the prettiest cap from his collection in color scheme. This sky blue. Oh, God. But if you've never smelled this one, you really should. If you're looking for high-level versatility, a fragrance you will get your money out of. And the reason I say that is because it's one that you can just keep going back to. There's no bad situation. It's ideal for pretty much everything. It's not just very good in every situation. It's excellent, in my opinion, in every situation. Hence why the cumulative score for this one, from versatility, wearability, scent profile, nuance and development, to all three subcategories of performance and longevity, sillage, and projection, to me, perfect 10 out of 10. Let's stick with the theme of versatile and fresh. So one of, if not the most approachable fragrance from État Libre d'Orange, ELDO, as some people like to say it, because it's a difficult name to pronounce. I've heard it pronounced many different ways. Fortunately for me, I was taught the proper way to say it. I butcher some names, but I get this one right, État Libre d'Orange. And this fragrance in particular is Remarkable People. And it's citrus, juicy, I believe it's grapefruit, with the champagne accord that gives this fizzy, almost aldehydic brightness to it. It's very fizzy, bubbly, bright, aromatic. It's juicy, yet a hint of sweet. It's a little soapy clean. It's just so easy to wear, so easy to like. Perfectly unisex as well. And it's an above average performer in that 8, 9, 10 hour range of longevity. It's not obnoxiously loud. You spray a little more, you get a little more with your performance is basically how it works out. It's really good stuff. They have some super artistic, hard to wear niche stuff, and then they got some crazy good, easy to wear stuff. And this, I would say, is one of the front runners for among their most versatile, most easy to wear. Definitely worth checking out. État Libre d'Orange, Remarkable People. Speaking of aldehydes, that was aldehydic-like. This is straight up bright, fizzy, bubbly aldehydes with super warm, spicy saffron that's also metallic. Warm aldehydes, kind of crazy. Such a unique fragrance. Faces of Francis from Vilhelm Parfumerie, my favorite from the brand. This is my favorite niche fragrance released in 2023. This is so good. Creamy pistachio. There's a grilled pistachio. There's cypriol and oud that just give this earthy, dry, woody feel. There's no oud funk or anything like this. It's more of a dry, warm wood, pencil shaving-esque type of oud note. It's so good. It's all about the saffron. You gotta like saffron because it's warm and spicy and it's metallic. It gives the two main things that it does. Saffron can be leathery a lot of the times. Here I don't really get leather from it, but I get obvious warm spice and obvious metallic. Mixed with aldehydes makes it a little strange, but strange in a good way. Unique. Super versatile. Surprisingly easy to wear. Really good performance. This is totally worth checking out if you're looking for a unique experience that doubles as something that's super easy to wear and versatile. It's not all that often you can have your cake and eat it too, with highly versatile and wearable and also super unique. You usually don't get both, and here you get both with Faces of Francis. Back to the mango, because I do love it, the mango. And for me, the best of house, and I stand by that. Mango papaya, more papaya than mango. It's a little peppered, if you will, is Day 3 Fragrances Bani, independent niche brand that makes incredible fragrances. Quality oils. I believe everything comes from Mon. Michael Paul is a brilliant perfumer. He does great work. Shout outs to Mike if you happen to see this, Mike. He's put out some phenomenal creations. Hell, he's got Downtown Deja Vu that reminds you walking through a shopping mall in the 90s. He recreated a lot of the accords and the smells, what you get in that. Here, I've worn this to the beach. It's got real performance. It's juicy. It's thick. It's not a sweet tropical fruit. That's why it's not so mango dominant, but I still consider it a mango fragrance because that papaya balances it really well. It's a peppered papaya type of smell. And it's absolutely stunning, and the main fragrance I would recommend trying from the house. They have coffee fragrances. They have iris fragrances. They have vanilla oud. Aoud, sorry, I always pronounce that wrong. Aoud, their newest release, is a smooth, creamy vanilla, soft wood oud that is just delightful. That's their newest release. They just put out banger after banger after banger, and this is still the best, though. Escandalo, really good citrus for you guys that prefer citrus over fruits. But in my opinion, you should definitely check out Bani when you're checking into Day 3 Fragrances. Jacques Fath is a personal favorite brand of mine. I have several fragrances from them at this point. Now, even though this is a more situational evening fragrance, I think it takes something that's been a cheapy hype beast and makes it even better, and it's not so much more expensive. 100 ml like this ran me like 66 bucks. And it's great quality. This is Jacques Fath's Velours Boise. This is niche Bentley for Men Intense. And you used to hear, oh, it's like a niche fragrance for like 26 bucks. Yeah, Bentley for Men Intense smells like it could be niche. Until you smell a niche fragrance of the same profile. Then you're like, oh, that's the $30 fragrance. For a little more than double what you pay for that one. Because don't get me wrong, Bentley for Men Intense, good stuff. This is better. This does the same profile, but better. It's leathery, it's woodsy, it's not as smoky. It's boozy, it's warm and spicy. It's got that herbal feel that the bay leaf gives you from Bentley for Men Intense. Phenomenal performer. This is a beast as well. Just, oh, this is such the way to go. So affordable still and superior. Takes a beloved hype beast affordable fragrance and improved upon it. I don't know which one came out first. I don't care which one came out first. What I want to tell you is that this is the one. If you like Bentley for Men Intense, this is the one. You are the type of person I'm saying absolutely should try this. If you never tried that, or even if you didn't like that, maybe give this a try if you're looking for something super masculine. Man's man type of profile that has that ruggedness to it, but niche quality. You can't go wrong here with Jacques Fath's Velours Boise. Cherry pipe tobacco. It's that simple. And it's high quality. It's from the Gate Fragrances. This is Memories. This smells like cherry pipe tobacco. It's smoky, it's super earthy, juicy, sour cherry. I get a little bit more sour than just black cherry. I believe it's black cherry that's listed, but I get a little bit of sour. Ambery, rich. It's not real spicy. At least I don't get much spice. This is a winter fragrance for me personally because I don't get the most cold weather. Most of my life I've lived in the Gulf Coast, and it's warm most of the time. And we actually got some cool weather this week. Like this week's rotation gets to shift because we're in the 60 low 70s, high 60s is the high every day. So I'm getting milder weather. It was nice and chilly. It was like 52 degrees this morning. It was lovely outside. Point being, I get to start wearing slightly heavier, spicier fragrances, tobaccos and such, and stuff like this might make its way into the rotation because it is that damn good. I have tried about 6 fragrances from the brand at this point, and this is the clear-cut best of house that I've tried. I've had a few of their Oud fragrances. First Sight, which is a beautiful green citrus fragrance, but if you're looking for an absolute stunner, you owe it to yourself to try Memories from the Gate Fragrances. Woodsy, caramel, syrupy, sweet, spicy, a little funk to hint of earthiness. It is not what you think when you see it. Mancera Silver Blue, and this is not a blue fragrance. This is... The bottle looks cool. This silver metallic with this beautiful tone of blue. The name's wrong. It just matches the color scheme, silver blue. It is not a blue fragrance. This is a heavy, darker, slightly animalic meets gourmand because it's loaded with caramel. It is so good, though. This is one of Pierre Montale's best. Because I was like, I'm going to feature something Mancera. What's a showstopper here? What's something that deserves more love? Shout out to my man Tazo. I saw he wore it the other day. Because I'm a big fan of this one. The last time I did a top 5 Mancera shorts video, I was like, I think it was top 5 best Manceras you can spend your money on or that you can buy. This was one of them. I think this was actually number 1. It's so good. So again, shout out to my man Tazo for keeping it fresh on my mind. This deserves spotlight. Because it's not your typical recommendation. It's not your typical profile from him. It's kind of like if you took Nishane's Papi Le Fico, for any of you familiar with that, the way that woody, spicy tone is to it, funk it up a little bit and add caramel. I would say this has like 70% of that profile. And like I said, add the caramel, funk up the woods a little bit. And it's a monster performer. Those of you in the cooler weather right now, this is the one to check out. Yeah, the red tobaccos and the Tonka Colas and the Cedrat Boises, they're amazing. This is a showstopper. Mancera Silver Blue. Let's go back to fresh. This was an instant love. Shout out to my friends Hillary and Yara. They had sent me some decants about 2 years ago, and we were doing blind smells on live streams, and the one that made me buy a bottle was Joe Love's Mango Thai Lime. I don't wear it all that often, certain occasions, strictly in the summertime, because it's just built for the summertime. It's such a vibe. Mango, Thai lime. Peppered lime with mango. It's that simple. It's zesty. It's got this sharpness to it because of the pepper. It is so mouth-watering. Fresh. It's a simple fragrance, but it's really good. This is Joe Malone's other brand. This is obviously a niche brand, but this is Joe Malone who perfumed this, and Joe loves. That's a publicly traded company. I think this is privately owned, if I remember correctly. This is her separate project, and I've only tried a few things from the house, but I'll tell you what, the first time I tried this, I was like, yeah, I got to buy a bottle. I bought it from the website. It doesn't pop up a discount as much. It's like $150-ish for 100 ml. Affordable niche. Great for you guys in the warm weather. You're in the warmer climate, your Houston areas, your Mississippi, Florida, Gulf Coast, Louisiana range, Alabama. You're in this Gulf Coast region, you get warm weather most of the time. This is the kind of fragrance you need in your life because it is that good. It's Joe Love's Mango Thai Lime. All right, you 80s babies, 90s kids. You're who I'm speaking to. You're who needs this. Anybody else that's watching this, if it sounds good, it sounds good. But you 90s kids that had an affinity for Tommy Hilfiger. I was born in 85. 95, when Tommy Hilfiger got hot, I was 10. I was rocking Tommy Hilfiger before it was the flag logo, when the logo looked like Bugle Boy. When Bugle Boy was the fake Tommies. Y'all remember that when we were kids? Because the logos were kind of similar, and Tommy Hilfiger was more expensive. Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger's niche dupe, basically. Montale's Fougeres Marine. It's almost a 10 just because it smells like a niche Tommy. Because Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger is a Mount Rushmore fragrance for me for the nostalgia play. It's the first fragrance I ever wanted as a kid that I asked for Christmas from my parents when I was in either 5th or 6th grade. Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. That is my jam. This is like my 8th bottle or something like that. This smells so much like it. Now, it's not exactly the same. This has got a freshwater accord that takes the oak moss and makes it a fresher green, spicy smell that's closer to this. Because without that freshwater accord, it would be a more earthy, darker spice. Because it's a chypre. It's loaded with oak moss. It's an oak moss bomb, but the supporting notes change the characteristics of the oak moss to make it closer to this. It's not 1-to-1. But it's like 80+%. Like, it's undeniable. If you're familiar with this, as soon as you smell like this, you're like, oh, that's Tommy. Yeah. So the closest we've ever gotten, and probably the closest we'll ever get to a great performing, higher quality version of this, is this. So any of you 90s kids that like Tommy Hilfiger, you need Montale Fougeres Marine. Now, those of you that enjoy a realistic plum note, not the synthetic stuff. I enjoy the synthetic stuff like Bad Boy Cobalt and so on. Those are really good too. But for the real deal, Maison Daba's Silent Night is a special fragrance. Juicy plum, spice, I believe it's cinnamon, spice, soft white florals, cedar wood, and not cheap cedar wood. Some good, nice, rich cedar wood that doesn't have that cheap sharpness to it. This is special. Their other two fragrances are based around oud. This one is not. This is the most wearable, the most likable, the one that's gotten more compliments for me. Not that the super mega compliment getters in my experience, but I've gotten a few compliments with this one. And 'tis the season. It's a little heavier. It's a fall winter type of fragrance. You can wear this one day and night, casually dressed up to a dinner date. This works. It's beautiful. It is stunning. It is spiced plum, woods, and soft white florals. It's that simple. It's super high quality ingredients. It's great performance without being obnoxious. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's unique. It doesn't remind me of anything else either. Strongly encourage you to check this one out from Maison Daba. Silent Night. Coffee, cardamom, and oud. That's the most simplistic way I can put it. 8 Bob's Agneta. This stuff is pricey. This stuff is really high quality ingredients. This is part of their Les Extraits collection. And, the oud here isn't super funky. It's a somewhat, with the other accords, it's a somewhat sweeter oud with just a little bit of funk, a touch medicinal. The cardamom here has a soft, bitter, yet spicy feel. It does add a little bit of brightness. You know how cardamom can have a little bit of a slight minty pop to it sometimes? It's that kind of cardamom here. I don't remember if it's Guatemalan cardamom or not. Typically, the Guatemalan cardamom has that little bit of bitterness to it. That's why I think that it might be. And then this roasted coffee note. It smells like a fresh brewed pot of medium roast Arabica coffee. It doesn't smell like the beans. It doesn't smell like beans ground up. It smells like freshly brewed. This is special. Oh, man. The sweetness is just right to round everything off here. This is gorgeous. This is evenings out in an established relationship. It isn't even really a bad first date fragrance because you'll definitely be more interesting than anybody else she's going out with as far as their fragrance choice. Because it is very alluring. It's unique, but it's not like crazy challenging. The risk of, ooh, you smell bad, unless she just doesn't like the taste of it. You know, shit happens, you know. But this is special. This was an easy choice. This is one of the first fragrances I grabbed. This is one of the fragrances that made it 20 instead of 15 because there's just some stuff that we got to talk about in this video. So bear with me. I know it's a long video. I hope you're enjoying it because if you get this fragrance, I can almost guarantee you'll be enjoying it. One of the greatest tobacco fragrances I've ever smelled. This literally smells like cutting open a, quality Cuban cigar. It's believable, fresh leafy tobacco, cigar tobacco. Plume impression, royal bourbon, the right amount of sweetness, the right amount of woods, the hint of spice, the light smoky tone, but loaded with this somewhat dry cigar tobacco. So realistic. The quality here is ridiculous. This Triumph of Bacchus from Argos and Zaharoff Signature Tobacco are my three favorite tobacco fragrances. Red tobacco used to be in that top three. Then I got this and it got bumped. Then Intense Red Tobacco came out and I like that more. So that's number 4. Intense Red Tobacco is number 4 of my favorite tobacco fragrances. This is number 3. Actually number 2. I think I like it a little more than Signature Tobacco. Argos Triumph of Bacchus is like my clear-cut number 1, but this is a close second, is basically what I'll say. Because it's just so photorealistic. The quality here is kind of bonkers. I got tons of high-quality fragrances, but I don't know. It's just something about this profile. Just does me in. Man, if I could recommend one from this brand, it's this one. I've tried 3 fragrances from them, and it's not even close what the best one is at this point. I mean, this one captivated me. I had to wear this one the next day as soon as I had got it. I'm waiting on the right weather. You need the cooler weather for this one. It is a little bit heavier of a fragrance, but boy, it's special. If you like tobacco, you should try Plume Impression Royal Bourbon. Now, I mentioned Zaharoff Signature Tobacco, but in my opinion, if I could recommend the most special, look, the other 10 out of 10 that I've given is Seraphim Blue. It's my most worn fragrance this year. It's my favorite release this year. But I don't think it's the most special fragrance to ever come out of the brand Zaharoff. I think the most special thing Claude Deer has ever created for George Zaharoff is Signature Rosé. My favorite rose fragrance ever. This is rose incense. This is sweet, rosy, and incense dominant. The oud here is a warm wood type, so there's zero oud funk. It's a Chinese oud, if I remember correctly, that Claude used. You got Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, a little hint of peony. So it's more Turkish rose and peony than it is Bulgarian because it's a very fresh, watery type. You've got vanilla bean and sugar cane that give you your sweetness. And depending on your skin, like it's sweeter on my wife than it is on me. It's more incense on me. There's olibanum in here, and it's very dominant. It's a very incense-dominant floral fragrance. It's rose incense. It's based around rose athonite, I believe is what it's called, in this particular mountain in Greece that the monks make. George told me the whole story of where it came from. He actually went there. And yeah, this is one of the most stunning fragrances we've ever smelled. My wife has her own bottle. I love when she wears it. She loves when I wear it. I literally wore it like 2 nights ago. No, the night before. Monday night, the night before my anniversary. Because anniversary, I wore Mind Games, French Defense. But this is special. I can't encourage you to sample something more. Even if you're not typically a fan of rose, you might like this. There's been a few people I've come across that have given it a shot that normally don't like any rose fragrances, but they like this because it's special. I think it's a masterpiece. I really do. I don't think it could be better. Zaharoff Signature Rosé. And last, almost wore this for my anniversary dinner. You don't need the Extrait. The EDP is fine. The Extrait is just the 40% concentration version. He didn't change the formula. He just raised the oil concentration. But if you want the even better performance, because Argos Triumph of Bacchus EDP is already a beast. Argos Triumph of Bacchus Extrait, it's unnecessary. It really is. Look how dark that is. That's the natural color, because my original EDP has gotten close to this color because it changes over time. This has gotten darker since I got it. This is like a year ago I got this. I've only worn it like 2-3 times because I've worn the EDP so much more, because this is like, they do the laser etching, so you got my name in the base. Look at the enamel work on the plate. I mean, second to none in presentation here. Glass stopper in the atomizer. Michael, that blew right in my face. I'm gonna smell like that now. It's all over me. I would normally never dare wear something like this to the gym, but shit happens. I'm not changing. So I'm gonna smell like this. Oh, so good though. Peach and apple, rum, rich amber tobacco, amber heavy. Then you get the tobacco. The tobacco is not super earthy here. And that's because of all the supportive notes. That rum absolute is potent. That's where most of your sweetness comes from, with that fruitiness in the top. Saffron spice. Oh, my favorite tobacco fragrance. Both versions, the EDP or the Extrait, it doesn't matter. Either one. If you want to spend the extra money, you just get that much more longevity. And it's a little, it wears heavier, you know. If the one to get to me is the Extrait, but you're fine with the EDP, but my God. Must try if you like tobacco. Absolute must try if you like tobacco or booze or boozy tobaccos. Any of the three. Argos Triumph of Bacchus Extrait. Well, that's the 20 that I wanted to discuss with you guys. It was a long video. I appreciate all of you that made it the whole way through. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you leave. I'll try to have links down below for everything. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good one.